Hello everyone, welcome to Study IQ. My name is Dr. Mahipal Rathod and today we have with us Ms. Anjali Ramesh who has secured All India rank 494 in the Civil Services Exam 2019. Ms. Anjali, welcome to Study IQ.
Thank you for inviting me.
Anjali ji, where are you from and what did you study? What's your graduation subject? First of all, please tell us that.
I hail from Chennai, though ancestrally I'm from Rajasthan. I have done my BTech and MTech in electrical engineering from IIT Madras, and currently I am enrolled as an MBA student in IIM Ahmedabad.
Okay, so you have cracked the three holy grail as well, IIT, IIM, and now UPSC. Congratulations once again for this achievement. So you have already been an engineer. So didn't you work in the corporate sector or didn't you work for any company before coming into civil services?
So after my graduation, I had a brief stint in the private sector with Credit Suisse in Mumbai, where I worked as an analyst. And it was during that time that I felt that I should probably give this exam because I felt that my role was very limited and it only made a difference to a very few number of people who are the shareholders. And I felt that my work should have a social impact. During 16-17, I was employed as analyst in Credit Suisse.
Okay. So in 2017, you decided to quit your job and start preparing full time, or you prepared along with your job?
No, I quit my job. I started preparing full time. I felt that if I want to give this a shot, I should do justice to it. So I quit my job.
Okay. So after quitting your job and starting preparation full time, did you prepare on your own or did you join any coaching classes? How did you go about it?
So in the beginning, so I knew my first serious attempt will be in 2018 because I left around February, March. So I joined Vajiram and Ravi that year. I think the courses start in after prelims. So that particular course I took. And I also joined IMS for mathematics. I stayed in Delhi for roughly around 8-9 months for the completion of those courses. And then I came back. However, in retrospect, I don't feel there is a need to go to Delhi as long as you have the material and you're able to be regular and disciplined with it. I don't think there was a need for me to go to Delhi.
Okay. So you did your classes and then came back to your home and prepared from home. Is that right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So 2018 attempt, what was your result? What was your experience in that first attempt?
So, with respect to 2018, I was very well prepared. I think I was more prepared that year than I was this year, but I didn't clear prelims. And that year, I think the prelims pattern was a little different from what you usually prepare. And I was disappointed that I didn't clear it. And almost like it took me a month or two after prelims to get back on my feet and realize that I still have to do this exam. But yeah, after that, after I decided that no, I want to give it another shot, I was able to focus and give a
So
disciplined attempt.
did you make any changes in your strategy while preparing for the second attempt for prelims, especially?
So with respect to prelims, my strategy for my first attempt was pretty solid. But the one thing that I felt it lacked was I did not account for variability. So even though I accounted for, okay, these are important topics, these are not, I didn't account for the fact that say medieval history say questions can come, because that is usually not considered a very high scoring subject. So I accounted for variability this time I made sure I used a lot of other sources, and I practiced questions more frequently and also practiced question in an offline mode. So what happened in my 2018 attempt was I panicked in the exam. So I wanted to make sure that the problem of panicking or like getting overwhelmed by seeing a paper, because that day is do or die for 1 year of your effort, and if that doesn't go well, you have to sit in for one more year. So I think that panic stuck. So I did a lot of offline tests to make sure I was accustomed to it. So those were my key changes in strategy.
Okay. Coming to the mains aspect, first of all, please tell us that whether you prepared your own notes for mains or you relied on the printed material that is available in the market, and also what was your reliability on the online sources?
So with respect to notes, it differs from subject to subject. With respect to general studies, I had my Vajiram notes with me, and they were pretty comprehensive, so I didn't need to make any separate notes. Uh, with respect to math, IMS notes are very, very extensive, exhaustive. So again, didn't need to make any separate notes. One place that I did make notes where I used to practice a lot of mock tests. So if ever I found any question important, or if during my answer writing practice, I would like pick up a topic and I'll keep that particular answer, say whatever of how many ever words, and I'll keep it with me and I'll have a stack of those questions with me. That is how I maintain notes through question answer format, which was very specific to the exam. Separately, I also maintained a small notebook of current affairs, which also didn't get the time to revise because I used other online sources for revision. So I think with respect to note taking, it was very oriented towards the exam. So just question answer format note taking for every subject is what I maintained.
Okay. Regarding ethics paper, what was your strategy? How did you prepare for GS4?
So I was very clear that ethics and essay are two low hanging fruits. So I have to score well about in it. With respect to ethics, they have two parts. One is case study and the other is theory. And with respect to both the parts, I decided to first go through the yellow books of Rajiram for the theory part, just to get a brief understanding of what type of words I should use. More than anything else, ethics, you can do the paper on your own, but there's a certain format which is expected. So I just to get accustomed with the words and what kind of phrases, and I went through previous year question papers and I practiced them. So that really helped me. With respect to case study also, I will suggest that it is practice, practice, practice. Nothing else will help you with respect to case study. And if you go through the previous year case studies, you will realize that one of the questions was also repeated in UPSC. So that is how important it is to go through previous year case study. Someone who had gone through the previous year case study, they would have easily been able to do that case study and probably score full marks. So,
all right. And regarding essay, did you practice essay beforehand?
Yes, I was very sure about the fact that essay is also a low hanging fruit, and it will come easily to me because I have good English and I'm able to comprehend. But the problem is, because of the preparation of the exam, you practice answer writing in a very short format. An essay is not that same. In essay, you have to write very long answers and you have to be able to elaborate as well as be extensive. So you need to have a lot of dimensions and depth. So for that, I took up a mock test and I just went through previous year question paper to realize what type of topics are common. So say women empowerment is common, education is common, and whatever is in your news, those things are common. So I took those topics up and I wrote like sample essays just to have them in reference. And there are multiple types of essay questions that come. Some of them are philosophical, some of them are very general studies based. So depending on your comfort, you can pick one and practice that. I was comfortable with general studies because as a UPSC aspirant, you are always reading the newspaper, so you have those facts ready with you. So just a notebook of all the common topics and sample essays for them, and also a repository of quotes which you can use, which you can just put in your introduction or conclusion, and it will make your answer look much, much better. So that is one thing I did for this.
Did you use newspaper for getting these quotes, and also which newspaper did you read for overall preparation?
So newspaper, I stuck with the Hindu, and I supplemented newspaper reading with primarily Vision and IAS Monthly Current Affairs magazine supplements that come. And for quotes, you just have to realize what topic it is. So suppose if it's women empowerment, just Google quotes. And a couple of like moral thinkers or famous personalities, just pick their quote and just have 4 or 5 quotes for different situations. And even if you have you have it in the back of the mind and you put it in the answer, the person who's checking your paper, they'll be like, oh fine, oh my god, she knows so much about this, she knows what a moral thinker said about this. So it adds an edge to your answer, which probably other people don't. And so that I think is a good strategy to have with respect to essay, because you want to make your answer stand out.
Okay. You're talking about your optional. You selected maths, right? The reason behind selecting maths, and how helpful do you think your choice was? I asked specifically because many engineers have this doubt as to what optional to select. You also come from an engineering background, so how did maths help you?
So my reason for selecting math was very purely interest based. I knew that I am not someone who can sit and do general studies 24/7. I need a bit of dosage of math. I love science and math, and that's the background I come from. And I realized that if this is this journey I have to take for more than a year or probably 2 or how many ever long, It cannot be purely general studies math. It was purely based on interest. And at the time when I took math, there were a lot of people who told me, don't take math. Take subjects like geography, which are like at that point considered scoring and more analytical also for an engineer. They were considered the good subjects for an engineer who wants to take a general studies subject. So, but I would strongly recommend take a subject that you love to study and that you can sit for like 16 hours if required, because and you will not feel tired because it's your passion. So some interest is paramount when you're selecting your optional.
Okay.
So that
So
was the reason.
you would suggest that interest is paramount, and another thing is that one must be able to sit and study that optional for a long period of time.
Long period of time, especially during prelims to mains break, you don't have that much time, and the syllabus is vast. You have to put in the extra hours, and at points you will feel like, oh my god, I studied this, but I don't remember. And in those times, you should have that confidence. Ki it's okay. There's no need to panic. And if you have a certain comfort with the subject, you will not panic. And math was that subject for me, which gave me a little bit of comfort, so I didn't panic.
Okay. Can you briefly share with us what books or book lists or sources you followed for the preparation?
Definitely. Just give me 1 second. I'll share a PPT with you.
Yeah, sure.
So prelims strategy. This entire presentation is just a repository of the books I used, the sources I used. So with respect to ancient history, I used Tamil Nadu History 11th Standard book. It's quite good, enough, more than enough for prelims. And I suggest anyone who wants to be quickly done with it. And it's not a very high scoring subject, so just go through this book. Medieval, I didn't do much of medieval, but this is the source that is usually used. For modern, Spectrum, these are all common sources. For culture, especially, I would suggest don't go through a lot of sources. Go take one source and stick to it, because for culture, I think there are a lot of sources in the market. Just stick to one, and I think Nitin Singhania is pretty comprehensive. So just stick to it, and it has a lot of pictures, so it will help you study also. Polity, Lakshmikant is the holy Bible, no doubt about it. And Vision Monthly Current Affairs was what I used for keeping my study a little dynamic. For economy, I used a lot of things, but if you're starting from the basics, I'll suggest start with NCERT microeconomics, and definitely do my economic survey and budget. These are things that you cannot let go. And Sriram's booklet is a good starting point when you want to accumulate all the information and have them for a UPSC perspective. And to keep your study dynamic, Vision Monthly Current Affairs. So I did all of them, but if I have to suggest some things that you cannot leave, should not leave, will be definitely do economic survey and budget. You can leave macroeconomics once you've read it. It doesn't require that much revision. And Vision Monthly Current Affairs is also very important. Science, I didn't do any specific studies for it, but just a Vision Monthly Current Affairs. Environment, Shankar IAS is enough for theory, and Vision Monthly Current Affairs for keeping it dynamic. For geography, I did class 11th NCERT, GC Leong, and I supplemented my preparation with Mrinal videos and articles. Geography India, I did class 11th and 12th NCERT. Geography World, Mrinal, and please maintain like your atlas with like points from the news. So whenever you hear some current affairs, some international relations news, just go through the map, see the important points, just mark them so that later it's very convenient for revision. And this is a very high scoring, definitely questions will come from maps. And if you have prepared your atlas, it will only take you like the evening of the exam, just the evening before the exam, and just like probably 1 hour, and it will give you marks. So, and for other current affairs, I supplemented them with Hindu. Mostly Vision IAS Monthly Current Affairs was my primary source, and other sources which you just Google Insights, GK Today, PRS, and all these things. Schemes, policies, fillers. For schemes, there's a Vision IAS Monthly Current Affairs booklet that comes, PT 365. So that was what I referred to. And I think this is just theory, but what is more important than all of this is practice, practice, practice. I think even if I have to say, even if you let go of, even if you have prepared that theory and it has been 2-3 months since you've prepared it, I would suggest revise through mock test. So I did Vision IAS prelims mock test and Insights on India prelims mock test. Apart from that, this year's attempt, I also did offline tests to help me be better prepared for this offline mode. So there's this because I'm in Chennai, Shankar IAS has these offline mock tests. So I went for that. And also Vision Abhyas, they have started a new program. So the good thing about Vision Abhyas is that a lot of students write it, so you can actually sit and gauge what your performance is. So I would suggest people that at least give 5-6 offline tests before you go for prelims. If you are someone who is who has not given this exam before, and who's also like scared of a little bit of variability, just go and practice it. CSAT, because I'm an engineer, I didn't do much, but I just skimmed through like previous year question papers. And if anyone out there who's an engineer, I don't think you need to invest much time in it. Just for other non-engineering background, you can go through, I think Vajiram has sources, and also more importantly, previous year question papers should be sufficient. So I have problem with language. I am not very comfortable, so I spent good time for language. So there is this book called Samanya Hindi. I refer to that. I also practiced essay writing. Because I think that is the highest scoring section in for compulsory language, and I also practice grammar section because it's a low hanging fruit. If you get it right, you get it right. There is no subjective marking to it. And I went through previous year question papers. I also went through Hindi newspapers, not very frequently, but just to like improve my speed of reading. Mains essay, like I've said, keep yourself updated with current affairs, consolidate the quotes, and I would really suggest enroll yourself for a mock test so that you have a notebook of sample questions that you can refer to before the exam. So my revision for mains was completely through the mock test that I had done. I just went through the mock test and they covered most of the important questions. And this you will realize when you start writing mock tests for mains, most of the questions are quite repetitive in terms of, especially for GS1, GS2, there are certain topics and those questions on those topics do come. And if you have written your mock test and you've gone through previous year question paper, you already have half of your answer ready. The introduction part and the history part and the background part, whatever dynamic thing you want to add, you can add it. So please maintain a notebook for mock tests. For mains general studies, this has a very high overlap with the prelim section. So you don't have to separately prepare for it. But what extra things I did was I supplemented with Vajiram notes and also online material, and Vision value added materials are there, which are very good for these small topics, minor topics with 1 page, 2 page. You just need to maintain a 1 page, 2 page note. It can be through your answer writing practice that you have done. Most of the questions revolve around the same topics. So these are the extra topics, and I'll suggest just go to the Vision value-added material. For everything else, just pick up any coaching institute's notes, and it's more than sufficient. I will not suggest go through a separate book because it is too much investment and not that much return. This is also already covered in prelims, but I went through Vajiram notes for sake of completion. This you can go through Mrinal or any coaching institute notes. This I didn't particularly focus, but I think it's covered in Vajiram notes. This will be covered in Shankar IAS when you go through the theory part. So again, additional, I will really stress on Vision value added material for those 1 page, 2 page topics. Be updated with current affairs. Most of mains is current affairs based, and if your current affairs is strong and if you have a good hold of it, you will have an edge over other students. So please be thorough with your current affairs and please practice, because most of the questions are of similar type. Once you go through previous year question papers, you will realize that this exam is not all that complicated and it's quite predictable also. So please go through your previous year question paper and maintain a notebook, and this will be a very good repository. For mains general studies, this again, you have done most of it from Lakshmikant for prelims, and you have done the current affairs for prelims. Apart from that, I think the major thing that you can add is go through, because you don't have that much time to sit and revise Lakshmikant again. So I had Vajiram notes and Vision IAS handouts. So I went through them for the sake of completion to make sure that this is more mains oriented, and I have revised the important points that I need to remember. And Vision current affairs monthly is also important. That will help you have those points ready for you. And practice. Your mains, I enrolled for Vision's mains practice test, so I had those question papers. I think it's usually like 30 practice tests or 30 or something, and you will get like 5-6 for GS2 or GS1. So even 5-6 is more than enough if you're able to practice 5-6 for GS2. It's the same. So I would just suggest, in this extra preparation that you need, is you can probably go through some kind of notes and Vision mains practice test. Again, means GS3. This topic is usually a little, for me, it was a little tricky because I have a stronger hold on GS2. At least if I don't know about stronger, but at least I have more interest. And economics is these type of topics I'm not very comfortable with. So I stuck to the basics, and my strategy was very clear. My prelims plus my Vajiram notes, vision material, and for this I did extra practice. I did a couple of extra mock tests, and I supplemented it with resources from Mrunal. Mrunal has very good resources for these topics, so kindly go through them. You can also supplement it, your reading with Yojana, because Yojana has good articles for topics like agro-produce, storage, marketing, very specific articles they'll have, and you can get good points from them, but it requires some time. And if you don't have the time, I would suggest you can just go through the one-page summary of Yojana that every coaching institute releases. Similarly, the same for these topics as well. For the science topics, I didn't do anything specific. I just kept it current affairs oriented and practice. So just maintained a notebook of questions that are, and with respect to this, you know the topics that are important, like nanotechnology and robotics, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things. You know the topics that are in news. So just make sure you have one paragraph written on them so that you can plug it anywhere. So because science and technology usually does not require that much time, and usually people don't put in that much effort, but it's actually a low-hanging fruit in terms of if you want to differentiate yourself, because the topics are quite predictable as to what will come. Environmental impact assessment, there is a chapter in Shankar IS, so you can just go through that. For disaster management, I just went through the material, and both of them were covered through practice tests. For all these, I went through Vajiram notes. They are more than sufficient. And if you have your current affairs ready with you, it will be convenient for you. And your practice tests will also cover the important topics. With respect to ethics, like I said before, I referred the yellow books, and I had my Vajiram notes. I focused a lot on previous year question paper and vision practice tests. The same for case studies. I knew I was better at case studies, so after you give a couple of practice tests, and please give them time, because ethics is a very long paper, so give time practice tests, so you will figure out what is your strength. So for most people that I have spoken to, they prefer to do case studies first, so just figure that strategy out. For me also, it was case studies first, and case study usually take a lot more time also. This section can be done in lesser time, so just practice them and have a framework ready. Most of the case studies, they are also of different types, and there are frameworks ready for, like, if should it be stakeholder based, should you define the situation, what should be your general conclusions, outlook. So if you have that framework ready, you will not have to think in the exam. It will save those precious seconds, which can help you probably attempt one extra question, which will make all the difference. For math optional, my primary sources were IMS and IMS practice tests. I have followed only this, but there are I have also referred to books in case of doubts. So in case of doubts, you can also refer to these books. I have given the list for reference. For linear algebra, it's Krishna series. For analytical geometry, it's Shanti Narayan. For calculus, it's Malika Arora. For OD, it's Rai Singhania. For dynamics and statistics, it is Krishna series. And for vector analysis, Krishna series. Also, one extra thing that really helped me is please maintain a repository of previous year question papers and solutions, and do it before mains. Do it much before mains. If you have a solution to previous 20 years question papers and you have the questions and solutions, you will be much more comfortable, because just going through them will give you enough material to revise. So before the exam, I did not have time to sit and revise my notes, though I had a formula notebook which I went through, which you can go through in short period of time. But the best thing to do is have the previous year question paper and highlight what type of questions get repeated, and focus on those type of questions. And with respect to paper 2, again, I focused on the notes and practice tests. These are some of the materials that you can use for reference. You can use Malik and Arora for real analysis, and Krishna series books are generally referred to for maths. You can use linear for linear programming, I already had a background in engineering and I had done this by myself, so I didn't refer to this book. I would strongly suggest Rai Singhania. Rai Singhania is a very, very good book, and Malik and Arora for calculus. And numerical methods, I don't suggest this book. Please just take the IMS notes. This is I don't think there's any comprehensive notes available. Just refer this notes. This is more than enough, sufficient. Fluid and dynamics, I did not have the time, so I had to drop it. So I just went through previous year question papers. But fluid dynamics by Rai Singhania can be referred for it. And just maintain a formula notebook and previous year notebook. And also, one thing that really helped me was I was part of a Telegram group which helped in doubt clearing. So the problem with math is once you're stuck in a question, you know your approach and that approach is not giving you a solution, and you will get stuck in it and you will waste a couple of hours. You need to have a set of people. You need to not waste time during the prelims to mains time. So whenever you have a doubt, I used to just post it on that group and somebody would reply to me with the answer, and I would have moved on and I would have not wasted my time. So please don't waste your time getting stuck on a question, and have that set of friends. It can be a small set of friends or it can be a much bigger group like a Telegram group with like 500,000 members or whatever. But have that peer circle which will make your life a little easier. With respect to the interview strategy, be thorough with DAF. Most of your interview, mostly 80% approximately, is going to be on your DAF, your undergrad, your if you've done a job, the sector that you've done, your native place, and most of it is going to be surrounding your DAF, your interests, hobbies. Prepare them thoroughly. There is sufficient resources available to prepare these things. So just make sure that this is on your fingertips. Stay updated with current affairs. That is a no-brainer because there will be questions at around that time. Just have a little bit of idea of economic survey budget. They tend to ask questions about it, and there are certain topics which are always asked about, like women empowerment, and so just make sure that you are aware of those topics and you have the answer ready. And for some people, it's not very easy to like sit and talk in an interview. So give mock interviews just to make yourself comfortable. But take this advice with a pinch of salt, because a lot of mock interviews out there are actually not helpful, because these are very subjective opinions of the panel members, and most of those panel members have never actually have never been panel members of a UPSC interview. They will give you all sorts of advice, which sometimes can be more detrimental than helpful. Take it with a pinch of salt. Know your own mind. Know your answers. Be convinced with your answers, and just remember that you're giving these mock interviews to give yourself practice and for nothing else, and to make yourself comfortable. And if they do give genuine advice, take it. I would suggest, instead of taking their advice, talk to some senior who has cleared this exam or at least has appeared, and get their advice, because their advice will be more helpful. And I'll tell you, after I think I gave 10 plus mock interviews, which I will not suggest, be selective. I gave 10 plus mock interviews, and at the end, after giving my UPSC review, I felt that there was no value addition by any of those mock interviews. So please be selective. I followed two people's strategy primarily. One is Atul Prakash sir's strategy, and for general studies, Artika Shukla ma'am's strategy. And so this is one thing that I did before, with respect to when someone asks about how to frame your strategy. I used to maintain an Excel sheet of toppers and their strategy for different topics. And before I started any topic, I would realize what my strategy is. And I would, once decided on my strategy, I wouldn't waver, because the more number of people you're talking to, the more people will say something new about some new topic. Have you read this? Have you read this? Don't get distracted by it. Whatever you've read, revise it. And if you are able to revise it even twice, once primary studies and two revision, you are already better than the crowd. Because revision is something that most people ignore. So just stick to your strategy and revise. And finally, all the best. Stay calm.
I just want to ask you something about your interview. How was your experience in the interview? You said that the mocks did not help you much. Why was that so? Did they ask you some other questions which your DAF did not cover?
So my interview was very DAF based. I think 80 to 90% was DAF based. And most of the mocks, depending on the panel, they were very focused on whatever the panelist's background was. So I gave one mock in which there was a historian, and he started asking me questions from history. And questions from history are never asked. I wouldn't say never, but mostly if your option is not history, my option is mathematics. So it usually not be asked. So I think mock interviews are more colored from the background of the panelists, then they are for you. So that is why I would not suggest giving too many marks. How many ever you give, just take them with a pinch of salt. And I would rather, so I did one thing. Tamil Nadu government creates mock tests, mock interview tests for aspirants from Tamil Nadu, which happened in the Tamil Nadu State House, and I was able to give those interviews, and they really helped me, because in the panel there were IS officers as well as people who had cleared the exam, just who are now part of the service, who were able to give me more pointed advice with respect to, okay, you need to talk in this fashion, this is your body language, you need to change it, which is actually helpful. And they focused more on my DAF and on my hobbies, which most of the mock interview panels did not. But there are certain panelists, I think I would really suggest KSG. KSG was a very good panel and very helpful. And during that time, just 2-3 weeks before your interview, you don't need criticism, because there's not much you can change about your personality at that point. What is done. You need a little bit of motivation and a little bit of guidance. So I would suggest not to go for too many mock interviews, because criticism at that point will not really help you.
Okay. It can even dampen your spirits, so to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any words of wisdom that you have for the future aspirants? You've gone through the entire process for almost 3 years now. And what would be your key takeaway or your advice to the aspirants?
I think my key takeaway would be calm, be patient. Good things happen to people who wait. So be patient, it'll happen. Just put in the work. Don't ever bargain with that. And always keep like a set of friends close to you who are your support system, who will tell you that you can achieve this, because there will be times when self-doubt will creep in. It's a very long and arduous journey. So just make sure why you're in it, remember your motivation for it, and keep it very close to your heart, and everything will be fine. Just stick to the plan and implement it, and filter out the noise, because there will be a lot of it.
Okay. So thank you so much, Anjali, for taking out the time for us, and we wish you all the best for your career from our entire team of Study IQ.
Thank you.